We have a new round of the playoffs with just 8 drivers remaining, including myself here in the NASCAR Cup Series, fighting for a Final Four spot here, going into Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now, as we look into this round of the playoffs, going into this round, we saw as well the drivers eliminated in the last one, Logano, Byron Kozlowski, and Reddick. And this is an interesting round where we have Las Vegas as well as Talladega and Martinsville. So it's going to be interesting. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of our Heat 5 career mode, where we come in not comfortably above the cut line. Nobody's really in a comfortable position. Elliott being the top seed with 7 wins on the season. He's not even comfortable now, as we had some big news, really big news, coming into this weekend as well. And that is actually about our team here from Kaulig Racing. Kaulig, and they haven't stated who yet, but Kaulig is announcing this weekend that we have actually had some major sponsors that will be joining the team going into next season, and this leads to Kaulig bringing this sponsorship money to acquire 2 charters, and that's the charter from Front Row Motorsports in the 38 car and the charter from Rick Ware Racing in the 51, as it looks like Rick Ware Racing is potentially going to be leaving NASCAR from a full-time capacity, only full-time. So big developments this weekend now, as it looks like Kaulig is going to pick up 2 charters, and it's not been, really in your face, but we have 3 cars full-time, but actually Kaulig right now only has 2 charters. The 13 of AJ Allmendinger is not a chartered car. So really interesting here, as it looks like they're trying to expand to a 4-car team going into next season. So we're leaving the team, so we're kind of being left out of it, but that was just announced by Kaulig itself coming into this weekend. But this is a story that's going to continue to develop. And of course, our relationship with Kaulig is terrible. I was supposed to be in the Xfinity car for Las Vegas, but due to the current status with Kaulig, they did not want me in the car for the Xfinity Series, and instead it was actually AJ Allmendinger doing that race. We come through in qualifying with a 31.0, and that puts us P13 for the South Point Casino 400, and that is going to set us up pretty well. But how is the car going to drive in the race? That's the big question. On pole, it's Chastain. Larson joining him on the front row. Ty Gibbs in third. Gibbs fresh off his first win recently at Texas. He has been so hot in the playoffs. Everybody's honestly lucky he did not make the playoffs, because he has really stepped it up here in the last part of his second season. Hamlin, the worst of any playoff driver, down in 31st place. Xfinity was in the field this weekend, at Las Vegas this weekend. It was Austin Hill who picked up the win. That would put him into the round of 4 for the Xfinity Series SVG P15, as you see the rest of the finishing order there. But now, let's get ready to go Cup racing.
It's time for the round of 8 to kick off from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 8 drivers remain in the fight for the title. Guys, who do we expect to see eliminated this round?
8 drivers, and I honestly think 7 of them can make it. The only one I don't think has what it takes right now is Gary Owen. There's not been enough speed in the playoffs, which no one seems to know why, after they looked so good in the regular season.
I'll play a bit of devil's advocate here and say Chase Elliott will miss the Final Four with 7 wins on the year. I know he clutched up last week to get into this round, but there's been too many issues for that team, and you can't have any of that in the round of 8.
All right, bud, we've made it further than the team expected. Let's keep it rolling here into this round.
Yep, 10-4. Thanks for the hard work, team. I know you guys have been doing what you can, given the circumstances. Let's keep it up. We're in for a wild round of playoff racing. We have a 1.5 miles. We have a plate race at Talladega, and then we have the short track at Martinsville, where if you remember earlier this season, we picked up our first career win. It's been a 3-win season. 2 of them were legit. One of them was field mileage at Watkins Glen, although we were leading that race beforehand. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out here in this round of the playoffs, with 3 different types of tracks. Really all you can want from a playoff round. And now race 1 of the round of 8 is underway here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ross Chastain trying to make the Final Four alongside Kyle Larson with the same objective. Ty Gibbs starting P3 on the inside there. He doesn't care about any of their objectives. He's here to win races, as he's been really getting hot lately in the Cup Series now. And I always, like to brag about the AI of NASCAR Heat 5, and I'm going to do exactly that again right here. Ty Gibbs haven't touched his AI rating all season long. I changed it in the offseason, put it where it was, where it needed to be, and left it, and he struggled. He missed the playoffs. Suddenly, he gets really hot in the playoffs after missing it. He's won a race, he's been running top 10, top 5, and here he is again. Up front already, Larson fading already down the order, and Gibbs immediately side by side into the lead on the inside. Chastain down to second. Myself and Nomending are really getting aggressive. 2 Kaulig teammates make it 4 wide on the 43 of Jones and the 99 of Daniel Suarez. His future plans soon to be announced here, as he will, I can confirm, still be in the Cup Series, but the question is where for season number 3 of this career mode. There's still a bit of silly season news to come, some before the end of the season, some in the off-season video, but I think you guys are going to enjoy some of the changes on the way. We got the new Ford Dark Horse on the way, rumors of talks for a new manufacturer, not for season 3, but for the season after, if we are fortunate enough to get that far. A great start here in Las Vegas under the lights. We're up to P8, passing Kyle Larson. Clearly the Hendrick car was really good in qualifying, but this is not surprising to see. We're in a completely different weather situation, timing of day. Qualifying was in the middle of the day. The race here is in sunset going into the night, so it wasn't really shocking to see some of these guys dropping down the order, but Chastain and Gibbs, they're basically swapping the lead back and forth just about every single lap. Cars going through and forward. Chris Buescher trying to make it into that round of 4. Ryan Blaney, of course, missed to half the season with a concussion. He's looking good. He, of course, had his first top 10 of the season since his comeback recently, and he's starting to look a lot better now, but you can see immediately something is going wrong with my car here now. Lap 9 of the stage, and I am's really starting to go backwards here. We drove up to P8. We're down to P12. Our future car, driven by Truex, goes past us there now as we are slipping and sliding all over the place. 3 wide in the middle. Elliott goes by on the inside. Bell goes by on the top here, and we are just tumbling down the order. I can't drive it, dude. I'm slipping and sliding everywhere.
You know the deal and why we're in this situation. Just hang on to the pit stop.
And why we're in this situation is because of all the drama that we have done with Kaulig in our rookie season, this season, going into the playoffs as well. And their payback is quite simply, and this is not known to the public, this is known to our team and, of course, you guys. Kaulig has been sabotaging our car the whole playoffs. Now, they've been giving us the worst of the worst, and you can tell, I mean, I am sliding all over the place. In turn 3 and 4 specifically, my wheel was never turning left, only on entry. For the rest of it, it was straight and then to the right. You can see I was even sliding now in the tri-oval, chasing the car up the track on the exit of 2 into the outside wall on lap 13. We continue to struggle, and now here goes to the inside, the 99 of Daniel Suarez in that UPS-sponsored machine. Todd Gilliland trying to go around the outside. He couldn't quite find a hole there now as we continue to just fade backwards. John Hunter Nemechek, who's moving his way up through the field up to P16. Sammy Smith back in the field for Andretti as they continue to give him experience before he goes Cup racing next season. Out of turn 4, lap 14, we go sliding towards the pit lane, and we overcorrect and we go spinning through the infield. No caution. NASCAR keeps the green flag out. We need to get it back rolling immediately, but the downfall of the round of 8 and our number 16 Camaro playoff, of course, performance might be here, as that was an absolute disaster, as we're still ahead of cars somehow. But look at this. Chastain and Gibbs are on now basically the same series of corners. They're entering turn 1 as I'm exiting at turn number 2. So now it's about trying to hold on to the lead lap, but I was the slowest car on track. And as we come towards the final lap of stage 1 for the leaders, they had run me down on the exit of turn 4. Look at this. The car's driving so bad. I'm trying to get out of the way without wrecking the car. White flag in the air for the stage. We get down to the inside. Gibbs has taken the lead over Chastain, and that's who would be the eventual winner of stage number 1, slipping and sliding through turn 3. Thankfully, nobody else goes a lap down, so Gibbs wins stage 1. We will get the free pass, so we are P39. Absolute disaster. I mean, I couldn't believe it, and we need some serious adjustments now. There's a lot of things I want to say over this radio right now that I can't, but if you guys think this is karma towards me, I think the real karma's coming. And there's our words to the team as Ty Gibbs wins stage 1, and we haven't had direct contact with our actual team since the end of the regular season. We've been all alone on the playoffs here. We are making significant adjustments. Wedge way up to 50.5. We're going way down on the right side tire pressure, specifically getting them down to about 45 before, of course, the time runs out to make that pit stop here. We're not looking good. We get the free pass, so there's a positive there. We've been in a position before here as we take the green flag for stage 2 where we have had a really bad car. Not quite this bad though, but we've been able to prove before, and I think this is going to be something that really carries us over into success in the 19 car, although like we've had a successful season. We're on Kaulig Racing, and we're the only one on the team that's won. We've won 3 races, but we've been able to rally back from poor runs in the start of these races by making adjustments to the car and just, you know, working on it as the race goes on. And this is just going to be one of those nights here under the lights in Vegas where we're just going to have to work on the car all race long. Every time we're in the pit lane, there's going to be adjustments coming to our car, and not just small adjustments like you usually see. Some big swings at this car, specifically right side tire pressures we're targeting, as well as the wedge. Maybe a little bit of grill tape as well, but that one's not really going to play a huge role, especially when the car is driving as bad as it is. The short run, the pace in the car is fantastic on the short run. We're absolutely flying. You saw it in stage 1. We drove from 13th up into 8th. We did have some assistance from slower cars in there. We're 3 wide in the middle between Rookie of the Year contender of Carson Hocevar. Of course, he's going up against the guy right in front of us, the number 4 of Josh Berry. We would pass Berry. We would pass Eric Jones. Driven up now to Kyle Busch now, as it was appearing that Ty Gibbs maybe made some good adjustments on that 54 car, because he was no longer really doing that back and forth with Ross Chastain that we saw in stage 1. Instead, he had actually just taken over, and he's just leading, you know, every lap at this point in stage 2. Ty Gibbs looking hot here tonight again in Vegas, and we look at Bristol. He was gonna be in position to win that race until he ran the top for the whole final stage, and he finally got that first win in Texas, and now here he is again, dominating so far here in Vegas now as we move up to P24, but right around lap 7, 8, 9 was when we fell off in stage 1, and I was starting to feel it again here in stage 2. So the big thing is just trying to not slip those rear tires and not wear them out, especially on the exit of turn 4. That was where it really got bad, but Kyle Busch blew my doors off. He passed me. He's going to pass Suarez, my teammate of Hemrick, right back to me once again as we go down into turn 1, lap 12 of this stage, and I'm just trying to hang on, trying to not allow this car to get to the point that it did in stage 1, and I don't think it will, because I think those adjustments that we made will allow us to make sure we don't get to that extreme point that we were just at. However, you can still see we're struggling. I mean, Hemrick's going to go by, and I was sliding into the 51, my former teammate of Haley. That was not me trying to turn down into him. That's just the car sliding into him. And now we're hitting that point again where we just hit a cliff, and you can see now Eric Jones in the Legacy Motor Club. He's going to go around the outside, take the position. Here comes Michael McDowell in the 34, expected, by the way, to retire at the end of this season. Who would go in his place, though? I'm not really sure, but we go down to P29, and look at the gap to McDowell and Jones build up, and there's cars behind us closing. Priest, Austin Hill as well in that number 33. We cross the stripe 3 to go on the stage. Gibbs continues to lead the way. He's led every lap so far in stage 2, and I'm just hanging on for my life. But yet, although I'm dropping like a rock, I'm running better than I was in stage 1 at this point. So it's just like, okay, there's a huge negative, but there's a bit of a positive now. We get past, coming to 2 to go. Josh Berry to my outside. We're going to drop down to 32nd place as the leaders start the final lap of stage number 2. But that's as far as we'll fall back, fortunately, at least. But Ty Gibbs, the eventual winner of stage 2 after leading every lap. Absolute dominance there. We swept the first 2 stages, and now I'm just hoping that 10th place crosses the line in about like 2 seconds from now. And there it is, 32nd place in stage number 2. Absolutely disgusting. I've already vented my issues to the team, and the team knows what we're dealing with, so there's really not much left to say. Quite simply, we're going to continue working on this car. Chastain 2nd, Kozlowski in 3rd, Blaney 4th. What a run he's having. Byron, Allmendinger, Reddick, Bowman, Busher, Nemechek up there in the top 10. Sammy Smith into the top 15 for the Andretti machine. Very impressive run from a driver with less than 5 races of Cup Series experience. More adjustments on the right side, tire pressures, wedge as well, and we will restart from P30. Here is the plan for stage 3. We're back underway, and it's 24 laps of racing. The plan is quite simple. It's desperation mode. We're going to split this stage in half. So 24 laps with about 12 laps to go in the race. We're going to pit no matter what, which will, in my opinion, basically mean we'll probably start struggling for 3 to 4 laps. and then we'll pit. We'll go as hard as we can again and make up as much time as we can with the fresh rubber while we wait for the other guys to pit, and then we'll struggle for another 3 to 4 laps towards the end of the race. But I think that's going to be the fastest option for us to finish this race in the best position possible. And I don't know what the best position possible really is going to mean for us here with 23 laps to go. What I do know is no stage points in the round of 8 is embarrassing, and exactly how you put yourself in a hole going into the big treacherous race of Talladega, where we could either make or break our final 4 chances there as well. I mean, it's all about capitalizing here. Now, there is one positive. There is one positive that really limits the damage. New leader, by the way, Brad Keselowski. Gibbs down to 3rd, Chastain's back in 2nd, but there is about 5 cars in the round of 8 that are back here. We got myself, we got Bell, we got Elliott barely inside the top 20, same for Hamlin outside the top 15, Martin Truex Jr. not in the top 10, Kyle Larson not in the top 10. They are only gaining a couple of points on us right now because they've also not been getting stage points. So in reality, we might not be as bad off as I thought we were, because although we are extremely bad, there is over half the final 8 drivers in this playoff right now that are having a really rough night here in Las Vegas. And one that's really been capitalizing is the one of Chastain. The 17 of Chris Buescher has been looking pretty good as well. As you can see, we got past Chase Elliott here and now up the inside of Denny Hamlin in that FedEx Toyota Camry, but we know the car is going to fade, and I was planning to come into the pits with about those 12 or so laps to go, so we're not too far out from that yet, and I was starting to now hit the point of those struggle laps here. Hamlin's going to get me on the outside. Elliott's going to slip up my inside. We knew this was coming, but honestly, we've driven up a little bit further than I expected us to actually get, so now it's about, can we hold on? That's the big question, and the answer is absolutely not. Bubba Wallace up my inside with 17 laps to go, so we still need to hang on for about 4 laps. I was looking at pitting with 13 to go, coming to 12 to go at this point now. So Bubba gets us. Bell is going to go around my outside. I just got nothing at this point, but there was almost a weird calmness because I had a plan in place here. 16 laps to go. We need to hang on for about 3 more laps now. We come to lap 53, approaching lap 54. Chastain still out in front. How much longer? We know Gibbs has got some serious pace. Todd Gilliland up my inside here now as we cross the stripe now. It's 14 to go, so we're going to go around another time. Gibbs to the lead of this race here in Las Vegas. Now, as you can see, I'm really starting to slip and slide, just trying to keep those cars in front within reach. We're going to pit not this lap, but at the end of the next lap. Kyle Busch is going to go by on the inside. We're coming to just final 13 laps here through the tri-oval. There it is, 13 to go. We slip in the tri-oval. We overcorrect into the outside wall. Big contact there, and the caution's going to fly. And oh my goodness, I don't know if that just helped us or screwed us, but we're going to have to pit. We are extremely lucky, and we only have 2 seconds of repairs to the car. Ty Gibbs is out in front, but I mean, you saw in the tri-oval, I was not turning left to get in behind Kyle Busch. I quite literally just lost grip and slid down the track, and I just overcorrected like an idiot and just made everything worse. And there goes the whole plan. We make even more adjustments on the tire pressures and the desperation kicking in. We're going to have to go on a tear here. Everybody took 2 compared to myself taking 4 tires, so now we have a very slim advantage. We've got 4 fresh tires compared to their 2. It's 9 laps to go here from Las Vegas from P39. What can we do? Austin Dillon back on the lead lap after early issues in the race. Ty Gibbs leads away with 9 to go. Can he go get win number 2 of his Cup Series career, and just 2 wins in the last few races it would be as well for the driver in his 2nd season. We were wondering all season long, when is this guy going to show up? When is he going to start winning races? We know he has the talent and the potential. We have seen current stars in real life, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, William Byron. It took them, more than 1 to 2 full-time seasons to pick up their first wins in their Cup Series career. Ty Gibbs here in Heat 5 doing it in about a season and 3 quarters, basically. Now, we quickly move into the top 30, but look at the track map. New leader, Brad Keselowski, was able to get past Ty Gibbs, and Gibbs would actually drop to P3 because Chastain would get past him. So Chastain, who's kind of been running second all race long, Keselowski has yet to win in the Heat 5 career mode. He's been close many times, but he is choked every time he's had the opportunity to close the deal, kind of like real life in that 6 car. 3 wide around the 8 and the 99. That puts us now into 22nd place, and we have run down the 20 of Bell and the 11 of Hamlin. But as soon as I caught these guys, we started to fall off again. So now instead of cruising by them, it's a dogfight to pass them. We get past the 20 of Bell, and now just coming to 4 laps ago in this race, struggling to work on the 27 of LaJoy. Kozlowski continues to lead. He's hoping it stays green, and I think he's going to get his wish here. It's been a calm race. We really haven't seen much when it comes to yellows, except for myself bringing one out. 3 wide on the exit of 4. LaJoy around the top, Bell around on the inside. They're down to 22nd place, and now it's just about bringing it home. I'm not going to be able to gain any positions now. We'll take the 22nd. It's damage limitation. What a turnaround it really has been, even though it's only P22. The caution flies, and Brad Kozlowski gets exactly what he didn't want. Chastain P2, and more unfortunately, the fastest car tonight is going to restart right behind him on the inside. I'm making an audible. We're not staying out. Suarez brings out the caution. You see the replay on the screen right there. However, like I said, we're making an audible. We're not staying out here. We are going to lose positions, I guarantee, if we stay out. We're going to pit. We're going to loosen this car up. We're going to throw 4 tires on it, give up all of our track position, and basically just try to make it all back and then some with an overtime restart. 2 laps to try and go from P39 to 22nd or better to make this a positive outcome. We're back underway for overtime. Suarez is still in the race. Kozlowski leads the way. Can he finally close the deal? It's been a night dominated by non-playoff drivers. Up the inside of Ryan Vargas, just ahead Carson Hocevar, who's had his ups and downs in his rookie season. Tonight is certainly not a highlight of his rookie season. We'll cruise by on the inside of him and the soon-to-be retired of Eric Almirola in the 21. 3 wide down the back straightaway. All of Stewart-Haas Racing is right here within these 3 rows. We go down towards turn 3, trying to go to the outside. Kozlowski to the top, Gibbs to the inside as we exit turn 4. Coming to the final lap, I think Kozlowski is potentially thrown. We'll dive it to the inside of the 41 and the 43. White flag is in the air. Next flag ends the race from Las Vegas in this first round of the round of 8, which has turned into a bit of a dramatic ending. Gibbs to the lead through 1 and 2. Kozlowski has thrown, and Gibbs is clear and free to run away, as now Kozlowski has to fight Chastain to the very end. We dive 3 wide up the inside, thank you very much, up to 23rd, looking for 22nd and maybe 21st. We have gotten to where we needed to be. It's going to be a net gain of 1 position. Gibbs leads the way to the tri-oval, and he will get his 2nd win of his Cup Series career as we cross the stripe. P21, and it was a net gain of 1 spot by making the pit stop, but I think that's way better than what it would have been. Chastain falls to 4th as Byron gets P3, and a lot of playoff drivers outside of the top 10, which only helps us. And let's take a look. After a eventful, disastrous race, it's not as bad as you would expect it to be, to say the least. And let's take a look now at that playoff grid to see the situation. Look at that. We are out, but we're only out by 6 points. Chastain good by 33, Elliott by 22, Larson and Busher both by 6 over myself. Truex, Bell, Hamlin, all 3 JGR cars out. Need some help going into Talladega where anything can happen. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.